Well, how many brothers and sisters did you have when you were growing up?
Four sisters and one brother.
6 of you total.
Pardon?
There were 6 of you total.
6 of us total, yeah, yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your childhood. Where did you grow up?
We grew up in well, if I was born in Indianapolis, but my father was just sent out to various places working for the Pennsylvania Railroad, and that's where I was born. My other sister was born the second time we went to Indianapolis. We were born different places, and one was born in Washington, Pennsylvania, and further.
Where did you spend most of your time growing up?
Where did I spend most of my time growing up? Would be most of my time had to be in school, I guess, because we had to study, and we had to get some kind of grades if possible, and that was the way I would go. I had the story I could grow up on. I had the story though that didn't help me a little bit was when my aunts told me stories from time to time about my father, and they said he was expelled from the prep school that he was sent to. He was expelled from the prep school in his senior year, and my grandfather accepted him at Washington Jefferson College when he was expelled, and there he graduated from Washington Jefferson College after that. So that was one of the most eventful things I had that I could say, well, that relieves my mind a little bit that my father was not entirely perfect.
Now, you had 5 brothers and sisters. What kind of child were you growing up? We were talking earlier, and I was talking to one of your daughters, and she said that you always referred to yourself while they were children as having been a model child. But then this morning you told me you thought you were a little bit of a troublemaker growing up. Tell me about being a troublemaker. What did that involve?
The model child, I think, was an exaggeration. It was that I had my difficulties in doing. I had my difficulties in obeying some of the rules that were put on us at the time, and so I think my childhood. I did not have a pleasant. I would not say I had a real pleasant childhood. I ran into trouble every once in a while. It's a good thing. One of them was it's a good thing that I didn't that I wasn't caught at all my troubles. Was when I went out on the eve of Halloween by myself and climbed 2 telephone poles on the side of the road. We had trolleys that when they were attached to the center of the road, but from the ceiling. From up, and when they would come over to the curb and pick up passengers and go back out in the middle of the road. And so I thought, you know what, what would happen if I would put a rope across there, string a rope across between 2 telephone poles, and then tail it. And that's what I did. I went out on Halloween night by myself with a roll of rope, and did it, and I tried, and the trolley came along, and it derailed the trolley, and it then coasted on down. The lights came on the trailer, on the trolley, and he stopped it down to the next, about 2 blocks away. He stopped. By that time, I was wrapping up the coil and trying to get out of there. I think today that the police would have been there by the time I was walking away with a coil of wire rope in my hand. That was one of those
things. That didn't
things.
break the trolley. It just disengaged the electricity from the trolley, from the little arm that that connected the trolley to the overhanging electrical cable. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. They didn't. It just disconnected them, and that's all. And if they flipped back up, so the lights, that was automatic. I mean, that happens. And other times that the coil, that the thing came off, and they had to go out and
You
put
wouldn't
it up.
recommend your grandchildren do anything like that, would you?
What was the
You
question?
wouldn't recommend your grandchildren do anything like that on Halloween, would you?
No, I wouldn't want them to do that. I don't think so.
You had said something about getting in trouble in school one day.
Oh, there was a place out in back of the school, public school. I don't know what grade I was in, somewhere around the 9th or 10th grade, 10th or 11th grade. And sometimes some of us, 4, 5, or 6 of us, would gather around the spot at the back of the school. It was a school, so on school property, but they would smoke. I didn't smoke. I didn't like cigarettes, and so this particular day, one of them came up to me. I thought he was my friend, and said, "Will you hold this cigarette for me for just a minute, please?" And I said, "Sure, I'll do that." So I was holding a cigarette in my hand, and out comes the principal of the school, and takes me by the collar into the room, and calls home, or don't know that he called home. He told me, "You're on your way home right now. You are expelled." And I had no if, ands, or whens, and so I went on home. But I told my mother when I got there, I was not smoking. And she said, "Well, you talk to your father when he comes home." That was always it. You talk to your father when he comes home. So I didn't. I said, well, I waited the rest of the day till my father came home. But he, I believed me. I think he believed me, and he looked back. He looked back over his days of his antiques, and he never punished me or anything after that. He never punished me, but it was an embarrassing. That was an embarrassing time. The only time I was ever expelled from school. I was paddled several times. I was paddled in several schools, as I do.
What kind of things did you do to get paddled?
Well, one was, I think, if I recall, it was the girls. I think I had a way of snapping somebody's butt when and I think that's what I did, but I had no. It was a horrible thing to do, but I think that was what I did, and I was caught doing that,
Principal didn't approve of that, then?
sent to the principal's office and got a talking to about that, and get back. But it was just a simple, I don't know what it was, simple little thing like that, but somebody saw me, and I went back into the principal's office. They were not real serious things. But they were bad enough.
Tell me,